My name is Carly McCrory. I'm the Executive Director of the Champaign County Economic Development Corporation, and we are very excited to have all of you here tonight for our 14th Annual Innovation Celebration. We really appreciate you guys taking the time to join us this evening to celebrate our community and the amazing innovators and entrepreneurs that we're honoring here this evening. This event is truly one that showcases the power of unity and working together, and so we're proud to host this event in partnership with the University of Illinois, Parkland College, who is our wonderful host this evening, and also a lot of community sponsors. So, to the point about community sponsors, this event is not possible without all of their support, so I definitely want to give them a quick shout out. And I'm going to name them really quickly. We have Illinois Ventures, Huawei, Busey, the Illinois Small Business Development Center at Champaign County EDC, the EDC, the University's Office of Corporate Relations, the University of Illinois Research Park, Parkland College, Pixo, Hatch Ag Group, Ramshaw Real Estate, Sarah Ventures, the Community Solutions Incubator, Hanson Financial, the University's Technology Entrepreneur Center, Latania Sports Group, Prominent, Singleton Law Firm, the University's Office of Technology Management, Carl, Surface 51, Logic Everyday Community, and the City of Champaign. So round of applause for our sponsors. Now, a few small housekeeping items before we kick things off. I'd encourage you to, as we move throughout the ceremony tonight, to follow along in the event program. If you didn't pick one up at the registration table in the atrium, if we have some on the table in front of you, but they get information about our event this evening and information about all of the finalists that we have, including their bios, their websites, and also their social media handles in case you want to like or follow or tweet about them. You'll also get to learn about the finalists through all of these videos that we have this evening that were beautifully put together by Amanda Baker of 5 Foot Productions. And last but certainly not least, I want to thank our event committee, which is recognized and outlined in the event program, for their hard work to make tonight possible. Next, I'd like to introduce Stephanie Stewart, who is the Vice President for Communications and External Affairs here at Parkland, to welcome. Thank you.
Carly, thanks for the introduction for this event and all of your hard work to make tonight possible. Carly is a tireless advocate for this community, and I just want to give her a round of applause. As she mentioned, I'm Stephanie Stewart, Vice President for Communications and External Affairs here at Parkland. And on behalf of President Ramage and our Board of Trustees, I welcome you to our Student Union. And we're glad if you're here, if it's your first time or if it's your 100th time. We have a couple of trustees joining us this evening, Mr. Jim Ayers and Mr. Jonathan Westfield. So. Thank you to our partners at the University of Illinois and all of the sponsors for your continued support of this event. We're just honored to be a part of it. We also offer our congratulations to all of the winners and nominees you'll be hearing about this evening. This event is significant because it provides a moment for us to come together as a community and celebrate the incredible accomplishments of the individuals and organizations in the room. In the community college world, it's a poorly kept secret that Parkland is one of the luckiest institutions, hands down. And it's because we have an amazing community. We have a Research One University in our backyard, engaged community leaders, thriving businesses, and fresh new ideas percolating around every corner. What better place to be? Here. Innovation helps to meet the needs of an ever-changing world. It creates new industries and demands new training. At its heart, it provides economic opportunities for everyday people to participate. And this is the space that we operate in here at Parkland. In that spirit, I just wanted to share a couple of new and exciting initiatives on our campus with you while you're here this evening. The first is a new program called Cobra Venture for aspiring student entrepreneurs. And they were actually on the red carpet, so I hope you had a chance to chat with Mark Chagnon, the program's facilitator, as well as our student participants. Years ago, donors to our Parkland Foundation recognized the critical role the community college plays as an economic driver in our community. They established a new fund, the Entrepreneurial Founders Fund, that sparked new ideas and programs on our campus. But Cobra Venture is the newest, and it provides a cohort of 8 to 10 students the opportunity for workshops and exposure to networking and other assets within this community to help them get started. Their ideas range greatly: rides to and from medical appointments, drone services, custom woodworking, and vinyl record pressing, just to name a few. The culminating event for Cobra Venture will be a pitch competition held right here on the stage on May 20th, and we hope that you'll come back and join us for that. It's a great opportunity to learn about their businesses and help the students get started. The winner will earn $3,000 in seed money to get going. You may have also heard about our Midwest Center for Precision Agriculture here at Parkland, which we're in the process of scaling. There was an article about it just this week in the News Gazette if you had a chance to take a look. To help us along in that scaling process, we're the recipients of 2 National Science Foundations here at Parkland, which is somewhat of a rarity in the community college world. The program is putting the college on the map in addition to our sort of historical ag program that we've offered, and was just ranked number 2 in the nation by precisionag.com, a publication that will actually be in Champaign-Urbana later this year. It's no surprise that the faculty member, Jenny Fridgen, is a past Innovation Celebration winner. We're developing the center in close partnership with the growers and dealerships at the heart of the ag industry. We're quickly becoming a destination for those companies for training students and educators to gain hands-on skills in an industry that has undergone massive transformation and innovation in recent years. I can turn my pages. In a few minutes, you'll hear from my colleague, Dr. Pam Lau, about our Innovation and Engagement Award winner, and I won't steal any of her thunder and talk about our winner, but you'll hear plenty about her. But know that she's an incredible asset to our institution and a beloved colleague. So as we enter this evening's program, I challenge you to watch for the ways that innovation and entrepreneurship is changing the world for everyday people, because this is when it begins to transform our community into something extraordinary. Thank you again for being at Parkland this evening, and at this time, I'll introduce Dr. Susan Martinez, Interim Vice Chancellor for Research at the University of Illinois.
Good evening, and also Stephanie, thank you so much to Parkland Community College for hosting us tonight. This is such a great venue, so let's for that too. Now, what a great pleasure it is for me to be here tonight with you. The Innovation Celebration is such an exciting event for both the community and also our campus. There's nothing like the energy and the optimism, the big dreaming, the creative thought in the room when you're surrounded by entrepreneurs, people who really think and dream big and don't let any mountains, any hurdles, any bumps get in their way. It's just wonderful to be here with you to experience that. Scientific discovery and entrepreneurship, engineering, they're intricately linked. Entrepreneurship is about filling unmet needs, things that people really need, things that make life better. While scientific discovery is about finding solutions to meet pressing questions and the grand challenges of our society. Together, that's a recipe for innovations that can change our community. Indeed, it changes the world. And for decades, for the past sesquicentennial that we've celebrated at the University of Illinois, that's what we do at the University of Illinois. And we're grateful for the community's partnership in many of these endeavors. But these changes can't happen without a focus on economic development and bringing scientific advances to the marketplace. So that's why I'm here today, to recognize the creativity and the innovation and the spirit of our university research community. I also want to acknowledge the technology commercialization programs not only on campus, but throughout our community that help us fulfill the university's land grant mission, a mission that has improved the lives of not only our community again, but millions and millions of people around the globe for decades and centuries. So with that in mind, it's really my distinct pleasure to present the Innovation Transfer Award to Professor Andrew Aline. The Innovation Now we pause for a minute, because for the spoiler alert is we're going to have a video before he gets to come up here. So if you want to migrate that way so you can see the video, you can do that. The Innovation Transfer Award is sponsored by our Office of Technology Management at the University of Illinois. And it recognizes an individual or a group from the University of Illinois whose research has resulted in either a discovery or a work with the potential for significant impact. Professor Aline is being recognized for his work on dynamic modeling and complex control systems. And in lay language, what I take away from that, I'm a biochemist, not an engineer, it's something about air conditioning and refrigeration. His groundbreaking work on thermosys and the establishment of, get this, it's a great name too, POETS, and you'll have to tell him what that stands for. POETS Engineering Research Center, one of the most noteworthy research efforts on campus. Now let's take a moment and we'll watch a video about Professor Aline.
I wasn't really thinking so much about the academic route. Through personal contacts, I got exposed to the University of Illinois, came out here and interviewed, and I was really impressed with the infrastructure that they had there at the time. It really left an impression on me, and I thought this would be a really good place to start my career. A quarter century later, I've found that it's still an awesome place to get work done. The primary things that we do as far as research is decision making. What we actually produce are the algorithms that make those decisions. And the idea is to take those decisions and turn them into actions. Okay, and you do that in a recursive fashion. If you take that paradigm and you shove it into a computer that's sitting on let's take cars, you can figure out what the car's emission status is right now and make a split-second decision to cut down on the emissions that are coming out of the car. So big picture, what society sees is much lower emissions. A lot of that has to do with the novel materials and novel devices that go onto vehicles, but a big part of it is the smarts of knowing when to use what. Thermosys, at its core, it is a modeling and simulation tool for a specific type of system. These are refrigeration, air conditioning, things that keep people and stuff cool. Where it matters is if you're going to make decisions on when I should turn things on and off. There were companies that came to us through the Air Conditioning Refrigeration Center and said, boy, could you build us a modeling capability? Moreover, can you build us one that's modular? That's sort of like drag and drop. And so it started off with something relatively focused and has grown to include things like secondary cooling loops. Being able to understand those transient impacts on the system behavior is something that we're able to provide. POETS is the Center for Power Optimization of Electrothermal Systems. We have faculty, we have students. There are several companies that are also involved in our innovation ecosystem. We also have educational partners. What the center works on is trying to cram as much power into as small a space as possible. Just due to resistance, things start to get warm. If you ever held your phone or used your laptop for a while, you can sort of feel it warm up. You can get warmer and warmer and warmer until you actually get into sort of failure. What the center tries to do is tries to balance, while you're shrinking, you're trying to balance the use of electricity with the use of thermal management. We're on a great trajectory. Man, if we can maintain the trajectory we're on, I see outstanding things happening.
As we welcome Professor Aline to the stage, who caught POETS, the acronym? Did you catch it? You're going to have to re-say it then. Okay. So would you like to give some brief remarks?
First of all, I'd like to say thanks a lot. Thanks to the organizers to putting this on. I think it's great to demonstrate to ourselves and the rest of the world that Champaign-Urbana is actually a very innovative community. Yes, you can give yourselves a hand. We're a very innovative community, and that's something that we should celebrate. And so, thanks very much for sort of putting this on. It's kind of interesting. One of the things why this is such a valued and treasured award is the stuff that I usually do has a lot of math and computer code, and you don't to be recognized for actually turning that into a product that people use is something that doesn't come along very often in my field. And so this one is actually very, very special. I'd like to take the opportunity to thank a lot of people that helped get us there. First and foremost, Jeff Wallace is out here somewhere. Thanks very much for thinking of us in terms of putting this forward. It's been great working with him and the excellent Office of Technology Management at the University of Illinois to turn many of the ideas into products. The faculty colleagues and the student colleagues that I've had have been awesome. Many of you out there have worked with U of I faculty and staff, and I can tell you that they are second to none, not just in the U.S. but in the world. They are truly outstanding, and you know, they are actually some of the ones that are responsible a lot for the tools like ThermoSys that we built, and the organizations like Poets that we've built. I'm up here as a figurehead, but really and truly it's kind of a big team effort over a long period of time to get here. Lastly, I'd like to thank the staff for the Poets program, because I don't know if those of you who are technologists out there, the technology is fine, but if you don't have somebody to help like organize and push it through, the staff, that backbone, you're really not going to get anywhere fast. So a special shout out and thanks to the staff. And with that, you know, I'm again honored to receive this award. Thank you very much.
And now it's my great pleasure to present the Alexis Wernzine Innovation Award to Coach Adam Bleakney. The Alexis Wernzine Innovation Award recognizes an individual or a team from the University of Illinois that has channeled their experience living with a disability into positive change through the creation of new products, environments, or protocols that enhance the quality of life. Coach Bleakney, who leads men's and women's track, field, and racing at Illinois, is being recognized for his innovative training protocols and technologies. Now we get to turn our attention to the screen again for a video about Coach Bleakney.
I started in the sport in 1996. It was my first year. I was just only a year post-injury, so I was injured, spinal cord injury between my freshman and sophomore year when I was a collegiate wrestler. So I jumped into the wheelchair track pretty quickly. I enjoyed the training, I enjoyed being outside. So I enrolled, transferred here in 97, and then I really started to learn about the sport training under Marty Morse, who is considered the greatest coach of wheelchair track. Under his wing, I learned most of everything I know about the sport. And then in 2000, just 4 years later, made my first games, which was really surprising to me. And then in 2004, I made the team in Athens. And then there was 2 games. I was there in Beijing and London. I competed in the marathon. With my job, I wear many hats. Creating and innovating and designing both best practices for appropriate protocols for training and health and wellness. But it's also innovating and developing different training modalities and equipment that create a more efficient and effective environment. I think there's more opportunity to connect across campus, working with engineering and design and the physiologists on campus, all with the goal of improving human performance. And that's both for sport and for daily life. Within the past 2 years, we've moved into 3D printing technology to develop our racing gloves, and has allowed us to move into the next iteration and evolution of that technology. We've always stood at the forefront of access and innovation and opportunity and excellence in wheelchair sport and serving opportunities for wheelchair users. The spice to this job is the innovation of being creative and certainly helping the athletes reach their goals. The day-to-day isn't incredibly exciting, but it's a game of patience and understanding key points along the path. And then when you do see the athletes perform and achieve their goals, then that's incredibly rewarding and motivating.
You're welcome. You can speak first and get the award.
Thanks so much, and thanks to the organizers of this event. Really an incredible evening, and whatever the IQ is in this room has got to be astronomical, really. So incredible. I'd like to say thank you to Alexis' parents who are in the audience, Big Ed and Pat. You guys stand up and be recognized. Alexis. I think Alex really captured the essence of what this evening is all about. An incredible talent. I'd also like to thank in the audience, my wife and 2 kids are here, Lauren, Carter, and Graham. Appreciate their support. And then my boss, Mo, is in the way back hiding behind, I don't know, over by the liquor table, I think. And then finally, the director of our division, Pat Malik, who is also here. So I appreciate their support. I'd just like to say how incredibly fortunate I feel to be positioned in this community, to have access to the points of expertise across campus and in the community. And one of the keys to extending our mission of service within our division is research and innovation. And I've had an incredible opportunity to tap into that across this community. We've brought in engineering and physiologists and designers and worked with some startup companies just down the road at Research Park, just a couple blocks away. All to the end of enhancing performance. And as I said in the video, not just for sport, but sport typically is just the leading edge of best practices and positive outcomes for daily health and wellness. And that's really what the crux of what our service is all about. So to that end, something that's very exciting that's happening now is we're in the early stages of an initiative to establish a new training building, a new training facility in which we will intersect research, performance, and innovation, and pull in these different silos of expertise across campus and across the community into a single space. It'll be an open space of communication and development in which we can do incredible things. So I think there's a lot of collaborative opportunities here in this audience, and I'd be more than excited to discuss with any one of you about what those opportunities are. So again, thank you very much, and congratulations to all the award winners tonight.
So, Coach Blakeney, it's my honor to present you with the 2019 Alexis Wernsey Innovation Award. Thank you very much.
Good evening. My name is Pam Lau. I'm the Vice President for Academic Services here at Parkland College. I'm going to join Stephanie in welcoming you. We are very, very happy to be able to host tonight's event. I'm here to talk about the Parkland Innovation in Engagement Award. We give this each year to an individual or a group in the Parkland College community in recognition of their innovative work in supporting the college's community engagement mission. We celebrate outstanding examples of how talent and creativity, time and effort are channeled into products or services that dramatically impact the lives of people who reside in our Community College District 505. So for tonight, I am really, really pleased to announce that the recipient of this year's Innovation in Engagement Award is Associate Professor Peg Boyce. She's Peg has all her fans here. Peg is our director of our dental hygiene program. Her leadership in the dental hygiene program has been marked not only by excellence in the classroom, where she pours her heart and her soul into preparing hundreds of students to enter the world of dental care as dental hygienists. But in addition to that, she has also demonstrated tireless efforts to expand the program's outreach beyond the classroom into the local community. Reaching out in service to those who are without access to dental care is core to who Peg is as a person and as a professional. One can say that this started soon after she graduated from Parkland's dental hygiene program way back in 1980. That 2 months post-graduation, she was holding the tail of a donkey, walking up the Andes Mountains to provide dental cleaning to the Quechua Indians. That's the kind of person Peg is. And she has taken her students to offer free dental cleanings to India. She's taken them to Guatemala. She took them to New Orleans post-Katrina. She's taken them to Tennessee. But some might think of the greatest impact of Peg's work has been felt locally. Since 2013, Peg has coordinated the annual Day of Healthy Smiles. She didn't only coordinate it, this was her brainchild, that she does this at the college's dental hygiene clinic. This is a day of free dental care to Champaign County residents. About 100 volunteers come out each year. Volunteers that include dentists, oral surgeons, periodontists, hygienists, lab technicians, translators, faculty, and students. Over the 6 years, more than 587 patients have received free dental treatments worth more than $450,000. That is something to clap for. In addition to this, Peg also organizes Give Kids a Smile Day. And since 2016, more than 300 children in the area have received free exams and treatments. And she has also coordinated with our Club Latino student group and area organizations to hold Latino screening days. Peg Boyce is a person who models for us, someone who sees opportunities to serve in her context, and then she figures out a way not only to serve, but to bring others alongside to experience the deep satisfaction of making a real difference in the life of a neighbor. Now we get to watch the video.
My name is Peg Boyce, and I'm the program director of the Parkland College Dental Hygiene Program. We are a dental hygiene program that offers an associate's in applied science and dental hygiene. We take 36 students each fall, and we have a 17-chair dental hygiene clinic where students first work on each other and then start to treat public patients. All the students work under licensed dental hygienists, and we always have a dentist in the clinic. They learn how to assess patients, clean teeth, look at medical histories, associate systemic diseases with what's going on in the mouth, provide oral health education. And so they're in their classes and they're learning about pharmacology and head and neck anatomy and all of those things, but then in clinic, they're tying it all together with that individual patient. Our clinic is open Monday through Friday, and appointments begin at like 8 o'clock in the morning or 1 o'clock in the afternoon. And they are 3.5 hours long because our students are learning, and at certain points in the treatment they have to stop and an instructor checks what they're doing. But the cost is just $10 for total treatment. That's for x-rays, an exam, your cleaning. It doesn't matter how many appointments it takes, it's just $10. And if you have Medicaid or you're over 65 or under 12, it's free. Our big event is in April, and this will be our 7th annual Dental Day. Patients that have been in our clinic and have had an exam and x-rays, and they absolutely just don't have another dentist to go to and they can't afford care, that's who that day is for. We have about 100 volunteers that day, and we see about 85 to 100 patients. We don't do any cleanings that day. It's all fillings and extractions and flippers for people. Over the past 6 years, we add up the services that we provide and we're at like $450,000 worth of free dental care. It's a great opportunity for our students to not have to travel somewhere, but to see what it's like to participate in a volunteer event. We are all committed to making this program very community focused. Those philosophies were started long before I was director. 11 out of our 12 dental hygiene instructors here are Parkland graduates. And so we're all pretty passionate about the profession and hold a pretty high standard because these students are going to graduate into our profession. It's also really rewarding to teach a profession that you love.
I am honored to accept this award. Thank you to Dr. Ramage and Dr. Lau, and the Vice President team for selecting me as the Parkland nominee for this year. In the book entitled Teeth, The Story of Beauty, Inequality, and the Struggle for Oral Health in America, I'm gonna have to take a breath. Journalist and author Mary Otto describes shame as common among the millions of Americans who lack dental care. More than 1 out of 3 low-income adults avoid smiling. Medicaid or Medicare have never included coverage for routine preventive dental care. And toothaches proportionately affect poor, minority, and special needs children. Children who have tooth decay pain are not able to sleep or eat or pay attention in school or smile, and it can also affect their development, their speech development. So dental hygienists are preventive specialists. We are part of a dental team, and our focus is prevention of disease, such as cavities, gum disease, oral cancer. As we teach our dental hygiene students, we emphasize the fact that the mouth is connected to the entire body, and the patient's social conditions make them vulnerable to disease. And we are part of a profession that can impact the oral health of our community and our whole world. Dr. Ramage, Dr. Lau, and the Board of Trustees allow our program to offer dental hygiene care at a minimal cost, a benefit to this community that is unparalleled. Thank you, and we sincerely appreciate your support. This program cannot participate and offer these types of service learning and community events without faculty support and involvement. I have some colleagues here, Jolene Lukey and Romana Williams, have been key players in our trips to India and Guatemala and New Orleans and Tennessee. And Kim Pancaw and Laura Hedinger and many other dental hygiene faculty plan, recruit volunteers, raise funds, and give up their time to offer these events at Parkland. This award goes to our program and our faculty who are excellent examples of teamwork, generosity, and compassionate care. And then personally, I want to thank my late husband, who is my greatest support and cheerleader in thinking outside of the box and encouraging my dream of teaching dental hygiene students. Thank you.
I would now like to introduce Tim Hare. Tim is the CEO and managing partner for Sarah Ventures, and he will be our MC tonight for the Community Awards.
All right. Hey, everybody. How we doing out there? Well, congrats to Andrew, Adam, and Peg, 3 very inspiring individuals and well-deserving awardees. Yeah, I just want to add my welcome to all of you. Thanks for coming out on a Friday night, nonetheless. I think we're competing against NCAA tourney tonight, but good to see you out for something as important as Innovation Celebration and observing just the world-changing work that's happening right here in our community. Pretty inspiring stuff. In 2018 Silicon Prairie Report, published by Silicon Prairie News, you'll be interested to know that the state of Illinois, with over $2 billion in venture funding in 2017, ranked number 1 of 14 Midwest states by a large margin. The number 2 was $650 million. That report also closely evaluated and ranked 42 Silicon Prairie cities, ranging from small to the very large metros. That particular process considered a variety of criteria: innovation, cool jobs, funding for startups, connectivity, community spirit. And I'm proud to announce what some of you in the room already know, and that is that Champaign-Urbana ranked number 2 out of 42 cities, second only to Chicago. And that really is an amazing testament to the technology and the innovation ecosystem that has been built here over decades, but in particular the last couple of decades. And it's really a true ecosystem. It comprises multiple components. There's a lot of different elements that need to come together to produce such an outstanding ranking among 42 Silicon Prairie cities. Such elements as world-class education, an intentional commitment to economic development, an award-winning research park, entrepreneurial incubation, mentoring and coaching, venture capital, of course, and angel investor funding, public-private partnerships on a lot of different levels, and I could go on and list another 10 or 15 factors, but we don't have time because I'm ready to get into the 6 community awards that we're all here to hear about this evening. All right, so the Entrepreneurial Excellence in Social Venture. This is awarded to an entity or persons that serve as change agents by creating and implementing sustainable solutions to reshape society, benefit humanity, and address social concerns. And we have 3 nominees tonight. Number 1 finalist is the Land Connection, and we're going to see a video on the Land Connection.
The Land Connection is a nonprofit working to create a community-based food system where every farmer has the opportunity to grow in a sustainable manner and every person has access to locally grown, healthy foods. The Land Connection has done a lot to impact our community. I think one of the biggest areas where we focus a lot of energy is through the development of our Champaign Farmers Market. We do a lot to ensure that low-income, food-insecure families have access to fresh food as well as additional money to purchase. With our community events that we engage with the general public on, we are focused on trying to decrease food waste, increase healthy eating habits, and drive demand for our local farmers that are producing sustainable and organic foods. With our farmer training programs, we are certainly a leader in farmer training, and we focus on teaching sustainable business practices and risk management. And we also take a very holistic approach to that. So we are trying to create networks of farmers so that new and incoming farmers can connect with experienced farmers so that they have the opportunity right off the bat to develop a successful and robust operation. Our goals with the Land Connection are to just continue growing our local food economy. We aspire to offer more opportunities for the public to engage with what we're doing and learn how to navigate our local food system so that it's a more equitable and productive system. We are excited to be launching a new website in 2019, and that will contain a new and improved resources platform so that we can offer more opportunities for farmers to connect with resources and information that they need for successful business planning. And our Champaign Farmers Market continues to grow and continues to make a big footprint on food access in the community.
And our second finalist in this category tonight is the New American Welcome Center at the University YMCA.
The New American Welcome Center was started a couple of years ago at the national level by YUSA, and then they selected a handful of YMCAs around the country to implement it. Its main focus is really to make communities more welcoming to everyone, particularly with emphasis around new Americans coming to our country and settling into new communities and making sure that they feel welcome and part of the whole community. We've been doing work around immigration for the last 4 or 5 years, and as a result of that work, our national organization, YUSA, when they were looking at rolling out the idea of a new American Welcome Center in communities, selected ours based on the work that we've been doing, trying to make sure that immigrants feel comfortable and welcome in our community. It was started with a seed grant from YUSA, and it's largely funded by individual donations we get in the community. There are specific initiatives around citizenship classes or other parts of the program that are supported by grants from the community and elsewhere.
Something that we've developed over the course of the past 2 years is a resource guide for immigrants, basically trying not to create new direct services, but really to serve as a bridge to high quality services in the community. Other services that we provide include an immigrant helpline. We also connect people to the pathway to citizenship, so we conduct information sessions in the community to educate people about the benefits of citizenship and eligibility requirements. We also have a partnership with the Urbana Adult Education Center to actually provide free ESL citizenship classes so people, and we also work very closely with the Immigration Project to make sure that when people are ready to apply, they're getting the legal assistance that they need at a cost that is affordable.
In May of 2018, we released a report with the New American Economy, a national organization looking at immigrants in Champaign County. And I think one of the key messages that came out of that is how much immigrants contribute to our community, both economically in taxes and services, as well as culturally and in terms of business development in our community. So a lot of the report focused on the benefits of having immigrant population and newcomers in our community. I think one of the other things that underscored, although maybe not as deeply, was the challenges facing immigrants when they come to our community. Economically, there's a number of barriers from language and cultural things that they need to adjust to. One of the roles of the New American Welcome Center is not only to highlight some of the contributions that immigrants make, but also to identify areas where we as a community can do better to make sure that they're fully engaged and integrated in the community.
We know from that snapshot report that was released that there's a lot of really positive things about the immigrant community, but there's also a lot of areas in which resourcing is really urgent. And so this is only made possible by, again, collaborating with everyone, and it's been really encouraging to be able to kind of figure out how all of those different resources and skill sets fit together.
And our third finalist in the Social Venture Award category is the Urbana-Champaign Independent Media Center.
The Independent Media Center is a nonprofit organization. There's a board of directors that work the space here that keep it moving. We are all volunteer run, and people are here because they want to be here and make things happen. We own and operate the old post office in downtown Urbana. We have programmings that take place in our space. We have rentals that we rent out. We are focused on getting media in the hands of ordinary people, allowing people to tell their own stories. We have a newspaper that we do this. We have a radio station, and we also have other things like a bike project. We help people repair their bikes. We have a maker space. We really try to diversify the art scene in Champaign-Urbana by injecting a lot of youth, queer artists, artists of color, black artists, emerging talent. And we do other fun things too, like dance parties. We have dance music therapy here. We host a Girls Rock, and that's women musicians training young girls how to use bass, drum, guitar. We really try to tell the stories that don't get told. Stories of poverty, stories of racism, gender inequality, sexism. So if people have those stories to tell, we have tools, resources, people to help them get those stories out. What we also try to do here is popular education. We have the University of Illinois here, but we try to bring university professors, students off campus. We have youth who have the Assata Shakur reading group, and they come here and read black political novels and memoirs on the weekends. So there's a number of ways we really try to extend education out into the community. We are about to celebrate our 20th anniversary in 2020, so we are making plans, getting some of the old timers who founded the organization back to town, and trying to get a real spotlight on the IMC for the work that we've been doing here for 2 decades now.
All right, and the winner of the 2019 Entrepreneurial Excellence Social Venture Award is New American Welcome Center at the University YMCA.
Thank you very much. My name is Mike Doyle. I'm Executive Director of the University YMCA. I want to thank the Economic Development Corporation in recognition of the work that's happening at the University Y and the New American Welcome Center. I'd also like to really acknowledge Gloria Yen, who's Director of the New American Welcome Center at the Y, who is ill and unable to be with us tonight. So Gloria and the team that she works with at the center has really been had a major impact on our community and really done a lot of the work that has earned this award. So I feel bad that I'm up here accepting it on her behalf, but I want to acknowledge that. Also have a few words from our board chair, Ricardo Diaz.
Thank you, Mike. I'd just like to take the opportunity, since we're all here and we don't often cross our spheres, there's, you know, the over $1 billion impact that the foreign-born have in this county feels really good in this setting because it's so many good people that are mixing with the foreign-born in a very natural, very positive way. Contrary to words that are said about immigrants, there's so many positive things international. When immigrants leave their country, we often say in the lingo, there's a brain drain. You know, there's a lot of doctors here. There's a lot of, you know, entrepreneurs. There you go. Raising his hand, another finalist and winner. But if it were a brain drain, what are we getting here in Champaign-Urbana then? Yeah, feel it. We're getting the best of the people that managed to leave their families, their homeland, their culture, to come to a new place in fertile ground. Or if you want to keep on using the drain, the water metaphor, think about it. It's the Perrier that travels here. It's the Pellegrino that comes here. It's the tequila that comes here. So, two initiatives that are presently going on that you should be aware of and seek out if, you know, as you work with the foreign-born. One, we're presently in a process of doing an immigrant integration plan. By end of the year, we should have everyone's ideas. We're running through a survey starting this next month to collect both the native-born and the foreign-born as to what is needed so we can come up with a plan for the long run. So the immigrant integration plan has several working groups, including an economic development one that Carly and others are a part of. The second one is this, and this especially for the government types, 2020 is an important year, not only because of elections, but because the census is coming. And the foreign-born are often undercounted. That includes you, and that includes everybody else who is in this room who has relatives that are, you know, it's often your parents too. The foreign-born need to be counted because there are many of them in our area, and they contribute to our community, and they bring dollars to the community as the census gets laid out. So please join us in those two initiatives as we work to highlight the contribution of immigrants, and then thank you very much for recognizing the work that Gloria and everyone in the group has done.
All right, our second award tonight in the community category, that is, Entrepreneurial Excellence, the Student Startup Award. This award recognizes an entity formed by students in the last 3 years that demonstrates a commitment to contributing success through entrepreneurial talent, creativity, and energy. And our first finalist in this category is Ring Wing LLC.
Ringwing is the world's first catchable glider. Weighing less than an ounce, it allows you to play catch inside without breaking anything. The thinking behind Ringwing was actually a lot of accessibility. We wanted more people than ever before to be able to play catch. And that's exactly what's happened. We've seen from ages 2 to 90 be able to play catch with our product. I think there was a really big step for us when we were in the COZAD competition in 2018. We had already been selling product, but we were in the competition and we were thinking, well, this is a toy, and there's a lot of people competing here that are diagnosing cancer, that are doing really, really big things. But let's see what we can do at this competition. We ended up winning $10,000 worth of non-dilutive funding, including cash and in-kind prizes. We really were propelled into the entrepreneurial community here at University of Illinois, which then resulted in iVenture Accelerator. That was non-dilutive. They didn't take any part of our company for doing that. Overall, iVenture Accelerator for me, for our company, was really great. It helped us think bigger. We've sold thousands of Ringwing units within all of our stores across the nation. We're currently in 23 toy stores in 15 states. Art Mart was one of the first stores that we got it into, and we're really proud to be in there. And not only that, it's been an incredible learning experience for our company, is how to sell something well in retail. And today Ringwing is doing very well in Art Mart. We're really excited about the future and the products that we're launching. We're really passionate about creating educational experiences, specifically using STEAM products. So we're looking at lots of exciting areas for our new products, even kits like Ringwing, flying toys, metal kits. We're exploring all sorts of different options, but our multi-product brand that we're launching soon is going to be carrying all sorts of interesting products. Stay tuned.
All right, and the second finalist is HexNest.
HexNest is a safety company located right here in Champaign, Urbana. We're creating a gymnastics mat that is safer and more accessible via price, usability while it's at the gym by reducing weight, etc., to give people the safety they deserve. I did gymnastics very briefly in high school actually, and 2 months in, I ended up breaking my spine. I'm now doing a lot of engineering work to create a product that would have kept me safe and can keep a lot of other people safe if they were in my shoes. So we test our mats right now with the industry standard in impact attenuation, it's called. So we drop an impactor or just like a big heavy piece of metal with some sensors on it, and that tells us how safe a mat is, and if we can get our values to be more favorable than other mats, then we have analytical proof that we're a safer product. And once we do that, we're going to have a lot of momentum. We'll do a little bit more recruiting and start looking into manufacturing, even locally possibly.
I'm at a world-renowned university where the focus is on computer science and engineering. There's just like a really good structure and infrastructure here where you can meet a lot of people and get the help and support you need. I'm really happy and fortunate that iVenture is a part of the university and has been afforded to us as a student startup.
I spent a lot of the early development of HexNest by myself, and that's really not sustainable. So getting other folks like Ian, like some of our other folks that are with us now, we're up to a team of 5, and I'm really happy that it's not just me, it's like a really great team that's driving a mission that we all believe in.
All right, and then our third finalist is Deep Walk.
Deep Walk is automating the Americans with Disabilities Act compliance assessment process. So what traditionally happens is cities hire interns to go out and assess the compliance of their curb ramps to make sure they fit these standards. And what we're trying to do is create an app that does that automatically. Instead of going out to a curb ramp and manually measuring with a tape measure or a level, what you would do with our app is take pictures around the perimeter of the ramp, and from that we can create a 3D model. And from that 3D model, we can introduce scale and then automatically take those measurements from the office or directly from the cloud with our algorithms. One thing that's really big for us is making it broad enough to where a city as small as Kelowna with 4,000 people can benefit from our product, and then also a city as large as Chicago could also benefit from our product. I've been working on this for a little over a year now, and it's actually started as a class project with just doing cost estimates of repairing sidewalks, and I wanted to get into research, so I wrote up this proposal and have been slowly building up a team for the last year, and now it's starting to turn into something. I would say the biggest resource for us was going through the NSF I-Corps site program. Going into that, we were doing interviews, but there were interviews asking oh, what would you think about using an app like what we're doing or a process like what we're doing? And those aren't the right questions, we found out. We need to be more broad and actually find out where the problems are so then we can actually fix their problems instead of coming up with the solution before the problem. By the end of the semester, around May, our primary goal is to have a functioning application that we can go out and test. After that, we're going to test that and try and get feedback and make sure that this is an actual valuable tool to make the proper changes. And as we're doing that, we're going to start automating those measurements. Long term, we need to just keep getting customer feedback. That's key to being successful.
All right, pretty impressive stuff. The winner of the 2019 Entrepreneurial Excellence Student Startup Award is Ring Wing.
Wow, thank you so much. Thank you to everyone who put this together. This is an extreme honor. Greatness from small beginnings. When I was 13 years old, I wouldn't have told you that I'd be here tonight. And so I want to dedicate this award to my grandfather, who came here to the United States during the throes of World War II and made me the proud Armenian American that I am today. Margaret Kachturyan, his wife, is here with us tonight. I dedicate this award to Narbi Kachturyan, who then became a professor emeritus in civil engineering at the University of Illinois and set the stage for who I am and my family here today. I also want to say, yes, thank you. I also want to say thank you to my family. I'm a triplet, and I'm a big family person. And I just want to say thank you to all of my siblings, to my mom and my dad, for supporting me with all of my crazy ideas, with all of the ventures and just wild things. It's been an amazing journey. I want to say thank you to my mom and dad for supporting me through that. And to anyone who's working on an idea, who has a startup they're working on, keep going. And if you fail, learn. Use it as a learning experience and keep going still, because it's greatness from small beginnings. Thank you.
All right, now on to the Entrepreneurial Excellence New Venture Award. This is an award for a company, entity formed in the last 3 years, demonstrating a commitment to continuing success through entrepreneurial talent, creativity, and energy. Our first finalist is Air Scout.
Air Scout was basically a result of me needing good zones to create prescriptions to make my precision agriculture equipment work. The technology that we use really started with thermal, and when we put that into the airplane, right away I could see it was showing me something that I could not ever see before. Getting the picture is the easy part. How to read the image, what to do with the image, is what came over the next several years as I began to connect the dots. Why is this warm this day? Why is this cool this day? What's the importance of the bare soil imagery, which has really opened up a lot to me as far as understanding farming. I was able to make changes on our farm to quit making the same mistakes over and over again. I make sure that the farmer understands what he's looking at, and what I'm trying to do is build them a storybook so that when they get to the end of the year and they have the yield map, you can go back in that storybook and understand why that yield map looked that way. And then you can intervene like what we did maybe in the following years and quit making the same mistakes. And we give him tools inside the Air Scout platform that allow him to build prescriptions out of any of those images. Here in Champaign, this is the heart of agriculture. There's just no other way to put it, really. And everybody that has anything to do with agriculture is somehow associated with this place, So making the connections through EnterpriseWorks here in Champaign is just something that was absolutely essential in order for Air Scout to grow. And I didn't set out to start an imagery company, but the reason why this company exists is to create zones and prescriptions and help farmers farm better. I have what I call my Christmas list, And we're going to start working our way through the Christmas list and build these tools to take the imagery and put it into action.
EarthSense is a robotics and machine learning company creating amazing new technologies for EarthSense is a robotics and machine learning company creating amazing new technologies for agriculture. We started EarthSense primarily to figure out how we can help address some of the most pressing issues in agriculture rather than waiting for technology to be created elsewhere in the Silicon Valley and trickling down to agriculture. Because of our unique place here, we wanted to understand the problems deeply and create specific solutions that directly help farmers as soon as possible.
So the robot we have, we characterize it by three things. So the first is it's compact, the second is autonomous, and the third is it's teachable. So the robot is compact, it's only 12 inches wide, and it's designed that way so that it can fit through tight spaces in fields, specifically between the rows of corn or between the rows of soybean. Then it has 3 cameras, one on the front, 2 on the side, that it uses and it can control them to look at different parts of the plant. It has 2 lasers, and it has a camera on top which it uses to look at the canopy and the light that's coming in. It has 2 laser sensors, one in the front, one in the back, and it's using that to kind of sense the 3-dimensional environment around it. The second is it's autonomous, so it can go through fields of corn by itself. So specifically, if you started from one end of a row in a cornfield, it can follow that row and come out at the other end. And the third thing is teachable. So right now we have taught it to do high throughput phenotyping, which is really measuring plants so that breeders can choose which plants are doing better in a particular environment. We're also teaching the robot to do other things such as detect diseases. With implements on it, it should be able to also go around and deal with herbicide-resistant weeds.
One of the farmers and other end users want this technology as soon as possible. One of the most frequent questions we get is, okay, when can I have it on my farm? So that's really inspiring and exciting for us. And also a little bit intimidating because it kind of starts the pressure up to say, okay, we got to deliver. We're ready to hire more people and keep growing and make more exciting technology that helps farmers.
In order to describe symbiosis, I think the most important thing you got to look at is our mission, which is to help the fight against cancer. 1 in every 5 men in the world will experience or go through cancer in their lifetime. 1 in every 6 women will do the same. So if you think about the problem there, it's multifolded, right? It's to be able to understand what will cure cancer, but with what we have available from a resource perspective, what will allow health systems to do more with what they have. And that's where symbiosis comes in. So it's a technology to enable oncologists to make decisions about the right drug on the right patient at the right time.
The basic idea for what we're doing is to try to build computational models of individual patients' tumor. And that's not just the tumor, it's also the surrounding tissues, the vasculature, what chemical species are available to the different cells in the simulation. And all of that really comes together into a really comprehensive picture of the biochemistry at play and the way that the different cells are interacting. And what's come out of that is the realization that the morphology and the surrounding tissues really play a major role in how tumors grow and respond. Our technology really comes from the bottom up. It's what's going on in the tumor and how that drives tumor progression or treatment.
What's really unique about our approach is that it's based on GPU computing technologies, which allows us to actually predict the response of a patient 2, 4, 6, or even 12 months in the future, just within a few hours. From a user's perspective, everything is automated. So the TumorScope integrates directly with their electronic medical records software to pull out the relevant information, send it off to the cloud, compute the predictions, and then bring that back to the physician for easy consumption and treatment planning.
Right now, our initial push is on breast cancer. It's one of the most common cancer types in the world, and there's a ton of publicly available data, and that's been really critical for an initial sort of training and validation of our technology.
Our goal is to get this technology in the hands of oncologists as quickly as possible. So we'll be working with the FDA to regulate the technology and approve the technology for market. In order to get there, what we're seeking out are a number of trial partners who will help assist, provide direction to the technology, but will also provide data to be able to perfect our technology over time.
All right, and the winner of the 2019 Entrepreneurial Excellence New Venture Award is EarthSense. And we do have some seats down front, so if any of the folks up on the upper level there would like to come on down, we've got plenty of space for you to fill in. That way we can kind of keep the noise level down just a bit. Chinmay.
We should have picked a seat closer to the stage. Thank you very much, Tim. Thank you, Carly. Thank you, everybody from Urbana-Champaign. I mean, this has been a great ride for us so far over the past 2.5, 3 years. Urbana-Champaign is an amazing place where we get to do robotics that has implications for real world, for agriculture, for our community, and we couldn't do it anywhere else. I'm really happy to accept this award on behalf of our team, half of whom surprisingly, well, not surprisingly, but are at another award ceremony where they got, so it's some of the students that work for us, they got the best senior design project award as well. So apparently we're firing on all cylinders. So thank you very much. Thank you to everybody, and thanks for my amazing wife who's been super supportive of this whole like crazy adventure. So really appreciate it.
All right. Now for the Paul Magelli Advocacy Award. This is awarded to an individual that actively engages, encourages, coaches, and mentors entrepreneurs in the community and provides extensive support to those and help them achieve success. All right, our first finalist is Mark Arjma.
First Leaf Capital is a venture capital firm and a general investment firm in Champaign, Urbana. I started First Leaf, I think 2 or 3 years ago because my own investing activities were growing and I wanted to kind of keep scaling that and add some of the professional structures around it. And also because it's a small market and we don't have a lot of players, and I felt that an additional player would be a healthy thing and benefit entrepreneurs and benefit all of us. I really view my job as having 3 pillars. It's my job to earn and protect our reputation for integrity, skill, kindness, sort of the values that we do our work in. My next part of my job is to allocate capital where it's going to be successful. The third part of my job is influencing the companies where we are invested to try to increase their chance of success. It's a huge opportunity that we have as venture capitalists, and even more so in a small market where we can be personally involved. I'm not making dozens of investments where I can't keep track of them, and I have time to put in. Startups, if they're worth investing in, are trying to solve a problem that matters, and to be part of that is enjoyable in and of itself. The chance to be a confidant and a relational support as well as a financial support to someone who's taking that kind of risk, it just kind of brings together things that I care about, and I really like being able to do that. If I can kind of combine my experience, my credible endorsement, some capital, some good insight into what they're on about, and consultation that goes with that, as well as a relationship with that person where there's trust and honesty, and I can say, you're not crazy and this might work and I believe in it to the point where I'm gonna write a big check. If that helps someone do their most courageous work, then that's a great reason for me to get up and do my work every day.
I'm Ed Moore. I'm a visiting scientist at the University of Illinois and also an EIR with Enterprise Works. I'm the president and co-founder for Biophia Consulting, which is a consulting group that helps with biopharmaceuticals, pharmaceuticals, and medical devices. I am involved with any of the startup companies that need help in the life sciences area. We had an opportunity to create an endowment from my family. We had a family farm that was up in Will County, and we recently sold that when my parents passed away. I took the share that I got from that sale and I established an endowment. Then we've been giving out awards, one to a student company through the COSAD process and the other through the Ag Innovation Summit. We established this award in the ag space to encourage startup companies to help improve productivity in farming. I think there's a lot of great ideas that are coming out, and it's impressive to see how much technology there is, and it seems like every time I come down here I learn about another new product opportunity that people are working on in the life sciences space. Well, I think the most fun part of it is to see them be successful. If that's launching their products, or if that's getting to a certain stage in their development. I think watching them become successful is probably one of the most enjoyable parts of the job. Hope to see many more achievements, accomplishments that they've made that I can help them with.
My name, Roland Garten. I am President and Lead Consultant for Garten Consulting Services. Garten Consulting Services is an independent consulting firm, and I focus on helping small, high-tech startup businesses obtain and manage government funding. The idea came about after having been laid off a couple times by other small businesses, so I set up Garten Consulting Services mostly as a mechanism for me to work with multiple clients. I really am interested in the people. I really am interested in their success. When I work with any company, I go in with a mindset, what does this person really need that I can provide? Sometimes it's writing skill. Some people are great engineers but terrible writers. Sometimes they're great writers but terrible organizers. Sometimes they're pretty good at everything and they just need a little coaching and guidance. And so I will advise in whatever area I see that needs my help. I remember about 2 years after having started the consulting service, I felt that I could take the family out to eat. For 2 years, we never went out to eat. We didn't go to movies. We just didn't do any of that. And I finally felt after a couple years like I could afford to do that. That was a real milestone. I just like to work with young entrepreneurs who are energetic and exciting. They know tons of stuff. I could spend 10 years studying material and would not know as much as even one of the people that I'm working with. So I'm constantly learning. I love the dynamism. I just love the creative power. And I love the results of the companies that do really well.
And the winner of the 2019 Entrepreneurial Excellence Paul Magelli Advocacy Award is Roland Garten.
And thank you, everybody. We're all entrepreneurial support advocates ourselves. Whether we're burning the midnight oil to help support our own young enterprise, whether we're taking that extra phone call or stopping by an office to check on somebody and see how they're doing, we're all working together to roll the big wheel forward. I don't think any of us do it with the sole intention of receiving external recognition. I've yet to see a client that says, I started this company just to get one of these impressive innovation celebration awards. They don't do that. That's not why we're doing it. It's not why we're together. But so it's really nice when somebody steps back and says, you are really doing meaningful work. You're doing something that has made a difference over time. It's also a little awkward. It's a little awkward for one guy to be part of an extensive, impactful, dynamic network support system, and for this one little piece of it to be getting all the attention. A lot of hard work goes in by a lot of people to make this community, the thriving economic community that it has become and that it continues to be. So for Ed, Mark, the organizers of the Innovation Celebration Award, and everybody who has helped an entrepreneur, your own or another one, this is your reward too.
Well stated. All right, Management Award. The Entrepreneurial Excellence in Management demonstrates expertise in assembling resources, creating an organization, and working to build and implement effective action plans. All right, our first finalist, Landon Fry, Jake Kreider, and Sophie Roney of Granular.
Granular started in 2014 out in San Francisco. We are a venture-backed technology company entering in agriculture, which was primed to be a very exciting space looking forward now 5 years ago. It became very evident as we had more customers, as we were working with farms, that we needed, service and support to train and help farms step into some of the innovation things we were doing. So placing an office here in Champaign as a second headquarters made a lot of sense to build out a team of, perhaps farm kids who had a U of I College of Aces degree and could train farms on ag tech. I helped hire, Sophie, our first recruiting manager, Madeline, our customer success manager, all the career fairs, all of the tech talks. Sophie and I would go and she would know kind of how to sell the pitch of what the work was going to be, and I would sell the vision of what we were doing as a company and how are we impacting agriculture. The culture that we had, the 3 of us, the 4 of us, the 6 of us had built, again, based on a lot of teamwork, collaboration, getting the work done. We are up to 65 employees now. 35 of those folks work on the customer success side, 30 on the engineering side, and we're a really critical part of the entire company's day-to-day activities, and has been awesome to go from 1 person to 65 and be in an environment that's super collaborative and fun.
I sort of came across Granular as I saw that there was a startup opening in Research Park that was focused on agriculture. I have some ties to farming in my family, and that coupled with the idea that they are doing something very innovative and it's sort of a new light sort of really caught my eye, and I ended up coming aboard 3 years ago. Farming is not a simple process. There is a lot of industry knowledge, often family knowledge that goes into it. Having people that can bring that knowledge from their homes, from their own operations, is just a huge strategic advantage in our business. I think that we recruit really awesome people here, and that would be sort of antithetical to our approach if we didn't turn around and empower them and believe in them and trust in them to do the right thing for the business and for our customers.
What we're working on here at Granular every day is building that future. We're building the foundational things that will likely vastly change the landscape of farming, of technology, of how our food is produced. We can see all the little things we're working on every day that's going to contribute to that vision, and that's what really empowers me and why I love coming to work.
Champaign Surplus is a third-generation, family-owned, independent specialty outdoor business. We started in 1947 as an appliance shop, and over the years has morphed from the appliance shop to now lifestyle outdoor specialty as well, and 2 brick-and-mortar stores and a large internet presence as well. In 2018, we really had the convergence of 2 major issues hit our business. The first was our brick-and-mortar footprint was too big. It just became necessary for us to change the way that we present our products in a brick and mortar space. At the same time, we have been experiencing tremendous growth in our internet business that just needed a larger facility that could handle a higher volume of capacity, knowing what was coming down the pipe for late 2018. So in 9 months, we liquidated our old store, we built out 2 new brick and mortar stores, built out a warehouse, hired 25 people, redid the entire backbone of the RuggedOutdoors.com website so that could handle the traffic that we were seeing, and really just put a team together that embraced all this change and put it all forward in literally 9 months.
We have an amazing, amazing team of our top-level strategic team. And so that core group of people was quite involved in the planning and the different iterations of things. We try to set the overall tone and direction for things, and then we're very collaborative with the team about what they're thinking and how would they like to see things, and we try to make group decisions and then empower people to just go out and make things happen.
What we realized after all the changes that we made last year is that retail is going to continue to change, consumer preferences are going to continue to change faster than we can expect. And one of the things that we've done is we've reset our mind to be, we will always have to change. That we won't be able to now, oh, we've got this brick and mortar set in place and we have our new distribution set in place. Great, we're set for 5 years. I mean, we're already looking at what are the capital expenditures we have to make this year. That we'll never get out of that mode of evolving.
Obviously, the business has had a place in my heart always. I grew up playing hide and go seek in the different warehouses and working at the store in high school and working at Christmas break. And when we came back, it was really interesting to learn it truly from like the business side of not just being like a high schooler working for my parents. It was definitely emotionally tough on me when we liquidated the old store. There was it was tinged with some emotional nostalgia, but creating these new environments in this store, it's kind of my dream store, and I was able to finally kind of make that vision I had come to reality, and it's really, really gratifying.
My name is Jim Langer. I'm the co-founder and president of Serionics. Serionics is commercializing color-changing air filters that remove toxic chemicals and odors from the air. So our smart filters remove chemicals more efficiently than any other product on the market. They feature a vibrant color change to let you know when they're working and when they're expired. In 2010, my co-founder and friend Will Jung and I came up with a business plan. We had the idea originally of commercializing this technology for a number of applications in water and air filtration, and ended up founding the company in April 2011. And it was, an incredible grind through that stage where we were building technology and trying to find the right product market fit. And as we started to grow the company in 2013, we were able to take on our first outside employees. Since then, we grew the team to what is now 6 full-time employees. As I've been able to transition a lot of the day-to-day responsibilities to our project manager and COO, it's allowed me to focus a lot more on strategic direction and fundraising plans for the company. And I think that what we have is a vision that keeps growing for the company, that every obstacle that we face, every challenge that we face, we see as an opportunity to really expand the vision and scope of what we're going to do as a company. I try to keep my hands out of things, but have a very difficult time being completely hands-off, where, with the technology, for example, I've tried to pass it off to my very capable, business partners and team. And still I find myself with very little provocation getting back into the deep technology of what we're doing. After 6 years in EnterpriseWorks, we recently moved to a new facility all the way over in Urbana, Illinois. We moved from 600 square feet of lab to a 4,600 square foot facility. We see an incredible opportunity to grow and scale that business in 2019. And we see it as an opportunity to work beyond the existing products, beyond just furnace filters, but be able to offer entire ecosystem of smart filtration for users.
Right, and our winner is Landon Fry, Jake Kreider, and Sophie Roney of Granular.
Well, thank you very much to the EDC for this award. It is an honor. I would like to say tonight Sophie is not here, but if we look at when we started the office, I really felt that Champaign was the place to have a second site for a national ag tech firm. This is the community. I was hoping we'd be a small shop, a very valuable team that worked together, and with Sophie, with Madeline, Jake coming on as an early employee 3 years ago, the culture we had, the teamwork that we had really just took off into something that has been an incredible development. I would like to give credit to Sophie. She fueled a lot of that growth. And secondly, we came at the right time. Timing is everything. Ag tech was at the right time the last 4 or 5 years, and what had been built in Research Park at the University of Illinois was just a great ecosystem that allowed us to put our heads down most of the day and thrive into the 65, 70 employees we have today. So I appreciate the award, and thanks to the team for being a great cohort to come to work to every day. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm echoing Landon's sentiments, but I'm incredibly honored for this award and to be here. Career advice I'd heard years ago was to always be the worst member of any band you're in, and accomplishing that goal has been the easiest part of the last 3 years. So that's really due in part to the community that's been built here, and that's due in no small part to the people in this room. So thank you all for what you've grown here. We couldn't have built the team we've built anywhere else, honestly. Beyond that, I have to also echo Landon's sentiments for Sophie. I asked her, if we are up there, what would you like us to say? And she said, well, just make me sound witty and empathetic and classy. And if you know Sophie, she's at least 2 out of 3 of those things. So she's played an enormous part in this as well. Yes, well, thank you all again for everything you've done and the pool you've built for us to grow inside of. Also, thank you to our family, and thank you to everyone else at Granular. And there are a few of in the audience here, and you're all awesome, and I look forward to working with you every day. Thank you.
All right, so our next award is Economic Development Impact, and our first finalist is the Small Business Incentive Program, City of Champaign.
The Small Business Incentive Program is a program we set up to assist small businesses in our community in getting started on the right foot, to make sure that they have access to the services that they need, small amounts of capital to purchase equipment that they might need, and really give them a better chance of being successful over the long run. Champaign City Council had interest in trying to do something to support entrepreneurship and small business development in our community. They established as a city council goal the intent of developing a program to benefit small businesses, in particular minority and women-owned small businesses.
The program is set up as a matching grant. So the city will reimburse, once you qualify, at a basic rate of 50% of business expenses up to a maximum of $7,000. The program launched in May of 2016. Since then, the 30-plus months of administering the program, we have assisted 59, or at this point 60 businesses to get started. The funding allocation, when council approved this program, it was $230,000 in one-time funding. All that initial allocation has essentially been reserved by all of those 60 businesses in the program. And in February, council gave us direction where they allocated an additional $100,000 or so to assist an additional maybe 15 businesses start and grow in the city of Champaign. We have done really great numbers in terms of reaching out to women-owned and minority-owned businesses. So approximately 32% of those 60 businesses were either racial or ethnic minorities like Black and Asian, and I believe an overwhelming 68% were women. So we're proud of reaching out to groups that are traditionally underrepresented in the entrepreneurship field.
Our role is to provide some outreach, education, promote the program, intake obviously. The new clients, participants come to our center, and then we help with the application process, the business plan, which can be a new experience for a lot of startups, etc. Get a good application and plan ready, and then it goes to the city. Even if you're qualified credit-wise, it's really, really tough to find any financial tools that are in the under 25 or 50, or for some banks even larger range. So having access to that modest amount of funding is really, really important.
It has been really cool to see how many different kinds of businesses have started up, different kinds of services they're providing, everything from wrapping vehicles to healthcare, home healthcare services, to small consulting services, just a wide range. And it's just been fun to see how many different ideas are out there and be able to help people with those ideas, bring them to fruition.
This is really the first ever blend of co-working, drop-in flexible childcare, and craft food and beverage, all under one roof. Moose chose Champaign-Urbana because of the entrepreneurial spirit, the spirit of innovation, and really the active working families that are here in the community. This building had changed hands many times and had different kinds of businesses in it, so we stripped it down and really started almost from scratch. So we had designers and architects and all of those folks kind of working behind the scenes to really bring it alive to what we have today. That includes securing the artists that came in and for the artwork that's located through the space, as well as the actual design of the space. We officially opened, our grand opening was on October 4th, so we cut the ribbon and welcomed everybody in. We are really happy to say that we employ almost 100 employees, sometimes over 100 employees at any given time here. Kids Camp is the first ever flexible drop-in childcare. So it's really because of our extended hours and you don't have to have any kind of commitment, it's really handy for parents to just drop in and be able to not have to worry about it. The second one is co-working, so that's our workplace. Our members have the opportunity to rent desks, office space, and to come in and just work in this great, vibrant environment. So we have 2 restaurants here, they're both fantastic. We have Everyday Kitchen, which is a polished casual restaurant. We have our second restaurant is Clever Moose, and it's got a focus on fast and fresh. It's got sandwiches, tacos, and we've got some great salads as well. On the beverage side, we have crafted coffees, smoothies, juices, just kind of this fantastic line. And as a cafe, it's also got some beer and wine. We have a great event hall, so we have had all sorts of events going on already. We have community-based events, we have personal events, we have business events. Next for Logic Champaign is just the ability to grow with the community. And we have ears to the ground, so we're always listening to our members and to the community to see how we can better serve them. If we look at some of our members, they've landed huge contracts and proposals just for being here. We have a couple service organizations that are hosting their events here, and their membership is seeing an uptick in how many people come to their meetings. So it's really been a community effort, and everybody is embracing Logic.
My name is Matt Cho, and I'm a local property owner and small business owner in Champaign-Urbana. Long story short, I grew up here and I left after high school, worked for a consulting agency, and really thought 10 years down the road, was this something that I wanted to be doing? And that's what brought me back to Champaign-Urbana. I've always been somewhat entrepreneurial, I believe, whether it's trying to sell pizzas as a kid, or just tinkering or starting some kind of company with friends. The real milestone was in 2013 when I was fortunate enough to get the BC Bank Executive Center, and from there it just kind of blossomed into different businesses that now we currently manage. CoLab was the first business. It's a co-working space for freelancers. Soon after, a cafeteria company opened, and that is essentially kind of the de facto coffee shop that most downtowns have. Sipyard is another business that we started. We opened that in late 2017. Broadway Food Hall was started in 2018, essentially a big food court. And then upcoming is Analog Wine Library, essentially a wine bar, wine store that is there to help educate and help people discover different wines. All the businesses that I've started, they're almost like little children. I don't have any kids. I try to pay as much attention to them as I believe a parent would for their own children. All the nitty-gritty, up from like cleaning to building to designing to scrapping an idea, those are all things that I just have an interest in doing, and a lot of the stuff that I've done has been essentially, cleaning out spaces and just modernizing them. For the tin ceiling in Cafe & Co., where are you going to find something like that? People enjoy that kind of aesthetic or that feeling, that ambiance in a coffee shop. I think those are the things that I really feel rewarded as when I hear something positive about the design. It always starts with a building, and it's kind of the blank canvas. And who knows, a business might start out of it. And I think that's been kind of the haphazard process that I've been fortunate to work with in this town. And, I wouldn't want it any other way.
And the winner of the 2019 Innovation Economic Development Impact Award is Matt Cho. All right, well, Matt couldn't be with us tonight, but I did extract a statement from him earlier today, and I'll read that briefly. Matt would like to thank his parents for more things than he can count, but specifically for tonight, he'd like to thank them for calling Champaign-Urbana home. A small college town might not have been the most excitingest of places to grow up as a child, but after hearing of the opportunity to live and work in having the opportunity to live and work in other places around the world, he realized that growing up here was the foundation that helped build a work ethic, curiosity, and the entrepreneurial itch for his ideas. The decision to leave a career in Washington, D.C. almost 10 years ago and come back to Champaign-Urbana was a turning point in his life. Here is where he was able to start cake design development and where he also met his better half. Matt is truly honored, thankful, and humbled to be recognized alongside the other nominees for this award. Much like his parents, individuals choose where to raise their families, start businesses, or pursue meaningful work every day. Matt's grateful that his job, in quotes, has given him the opportunity to help make Champaign-Urbana a little more of home every day. All right. Well, super impressive group of finalists and awardees, and I'm honored to be in your presence. Just a great group making this community even greater. The award nominees and winners should gather up front. We're going to do a little bit of a photo op. The rest of you are invited. We have food out as well as drink, so stick around and have a great rest of your evening.